I'd like to warmly welcome you to our health retreat today on this lovely July morning, and to welcome Brother Tan Tan, which in English means Brother True Heart. So a warm welcome to you, Brother, here in Lancashire. Brother True Heart is a doctor of pharmaceutical care and also a diabetic counsellor, and has extensive knowledge and experience of health and health issues. He's been living in the United States for 17 years at Deer Park Monastery, and at the moment he's based at Plum Village and travelling around Europe giving lectures and workshops. So we're very lucky today to have him with us. The plan for today, there is some flexibility around it, but we're going to have teaching until 11 o'clock, when there'll be a break of 15 minutes. That'll be followed by walking and qigong, hopefully in the garden. Although the Quakers do have their fete this afternoon, so there will be people arriving with cakes and trolleys and things. Lunch is at noon, after which there's a break until 2 o'clock, so an opportunity to stroll around the beautiful area or to sit and relax. There'll be a sitting meditation at 2 o'clock, followed by a short break, and then teaching at 2:45 until 4. And then if you want to stay after 4 to ask Brother True Heart questions, that's fine as well. We haven't quite finalised tomorrow's programme, which may start earlier for some people if you want to come for an earlier meditation. I'd also like to thank Lynn for all the wonderful organisation that she's done to bring this day apart here. So thank you so much, Lynn. I'll hand over to you, Brother True Heart.
Good morning. Really nice opportunity to travel up the north of England to share with you at the last minute. Actually, we don't have a program for England this year yet, especially for Nepal. But finally, on condition it's favorable, so we can make it. For this program, originally I just organized during the winter retreat of 2010 to 2011 to share with brother and sister only. But and then I have some adult and athletes. During that winter retreat, we have some adults and athletes from the other temple and monastery come to participate in the retreat, and they have an opportunity to go through some of the workshop during the winter retreat. So they benefit a lot. So that's why they invite me to the monastery in temple to share with the monastic member and the lay practitioner in the temple. So that's why the program is set up very short time, so we don't prepare in advance and we don't make announcement on the program in Europe. But it just keep continuing from one place to the other place. So far for the last 3 months, I've been through 15 centers, 1 week at every place. So no one has 1 or 2 days like this. So, and then the program is usually about a week, and we have 2 sessions of teaching every day, 1 session for question and answer, and also I recommend for sitting 2 to 3 sessions a day, and as well as the walking, meditation, and qigong twice a day. So after a week of participating in this workshop retreat, most of people can bring that schedule back to home, so they can follow that and then they can have a new life. So only 2 days, we don't have much time to go over all that. So hopefully we can concentrate on some major issue to let you think about that and try to apply as much as possible. And then next year, hopefully we may have a longer retreat. Yeah. And thank you for organizing this weekend retreat, and thank you for coming to join this workshop. Actually today we have only about 45 minutes, so I may go through some cause of illness and the forecast the treatment only. So we have a sense about how we know our body in general and why we get sick a lot nowadays. Even though we have a lot of medical support, we have a lot of new medication and technology advanced, something like that. But it seems more and more people get sick and more chronic disease. Not only physical but mentally too. So the first thing we're talking about today is the cause of all our illness. As you know, where the toxin come from. So that is the question. Why we have to deal with that more and more now today compared to that before. In the old time, 50 years ago or 100 years ago, we don't have to deal with that. The toxin automatically build up in our body, even though we have very healthy diet, very healthy lifestyle. For example, we need to eat every day, so our body cannot absorb all the food we eat. We need to eliminate some part of that. What happens if we have constipation? What happens if we don't have a bowel movement on time? The longer it stays in the GI tract, the more complication, the more toxin will re-penetrate in our body. One of that, you know, the gas we cook, right? That we make from the way we incubate, and our feces in our gastrointestinal tract. When we have constipation, the gas build up, and that gas we smell it, not really good, right? Very toxic. So if we have bowel movement every day, but we don't have it on time at the appropriate time, that already had a problem with our body. And when we had a constipation, the condition becomes more severe and more severe. The other example, the metabolism process, our body needs to burn the nutrition to supply the energy for our body. So the byproduct of that is carbon dioxide or the radical, or that become toxin to our body if we not exercise, if we not breathe deep enough to eliminate all the carbon dioxide built up in our body. So that is our byproduct. But if we don't express it properly, automatically we have a problem with that. But nowadays we have more and more toxin in the environment, in the food we eat, in the water we drink. But not only the visible, the material. Later on we will learn, we will be affected more and more by the invisible toxin. So that's why our body be accumulated more and more toxin by the input is much more than the output. And then also 50 years ago we don't have a new technology, so the food we eat is more naturally, it's fresher. We don't have to eat on the fast food. We don't have a canned food or boxed food. We don't have the refined or the reprocessed food. So it lacks toxin and it has more nutrition, more life force. But now we eat more and more processed food, more refined product, and the more processed food we eat, the more chemical in there, and the less natural force, the less life force. So that's why we need to eat more to have the same energy level to supply our body to work. And then the other issue, we have more technology, more transportation needs. So we work by hand, by manually less. We don't work much. So we go by car, by bird, by airplane. So that's why we don't have much opportunity to help our body to eliminate the toxin out of the body. So all of that can contribute to the accumulation of the toxin in our body. And the other issue relates to the sickness or the build-up of the toxin in our body. Again, we have an imbalance because in the old time we produce the food naturally and we eat the whole thing. We consume in a moderate amount. But now, because we have more technology, we have more food to eat, so we eliminate some part. We just eat whatever we want. We don't eat the whole product. For example, in the old time, if we eat the animal product, you have a chicken or duck, we kind of eat all of that. But now we don't eat that much, we just eat the bread, the leg. And for the cow, for the pig, we just eat the flesh only. All the part we eliminate. But think about the way we raise the animal nowadays. It's kind of unnatural. And the animal be fit, unnatural, rising in unnaturally weight. So the animal get upset. You see, when it upset, all the energy is released into the flesh. the concentration of the energy, the invisible energy, the upset, the anxiety, the worriness, all that we release in the flesh, in muscle only, and we consume that portion of the animal, and we eliminate the bone, the skin, and all the part. So actually, first we inject the higher concentration of toxin, and it also imbalance the nutrition in that family or in that community. The same thing happened for the vegetable. In the old time, we may eat the whole skin, we may eat the whole root and the upper part, the green. But now, because we have a lot of food to eat, and then we worry about the contamination on the chemicals, so we eliminate the peel, the other part. We just eat only a portion of that, so it becomes unbalanced. The nature already gives every single product at the whole unit. It be balanced itself with all the nutrition in that unit. So when we consume the whole unit of food, our body automatically balance itself. But now, because of eliminate the portion and just consume only a portion of that, our body becomes unbalanced. And the more unbalanced, the more sickness we have. The same thing for all the food we eat with the industrial processing. The more processed, the more toxin, the chemical they add in, and the less natural force, the less life force less for us. So that's why our body have an imbalanced nutrition, imbalanced the mineral and the trace element, all that will contribute to the sickness. But one of the most important factors is we are bombarded by the electromagnetic field all around us. We have a few 100,000 of the radar station. We have the television station. We have the satellite. We have the cell phone tower. All around us, in-house, around house. So the electromagnetic field, it affects us 24 hours a day, 7 days per week. But we don't really aware about that. And if we not practice sitting to close our own electromagnetic field, that means if we not practice to meditate, to come back to ourselves, our mind always project out the thought, and each thought is channel, it have a wavelength, it have a frequency. And our brain is the best receiver than any receiver we make. But because it can send out the message, the signal, it can receive the signal at the same time. That's why if we not aware about the effect of the electromagnetic field into our body or our life, and if we not practice come back to ourselves to close our circuit, we automatically receive the signal or be affected by the electromagnetic field from the universe. Especially during the daytime, we have a more consciousness, and we still don't know how to control it, how to live truly. in the present moment, in awareness. So our body will get used to that pattern, that habit. And at night time, when we get into sleep, we are living in unconsciousness. So we have no control at all. In that period of time, we are being affected by the electromagnetic much more than during the daytime. And it gets deep into our subconsciousness. And when the condition is favorable, it will automatically manifest on our mind consciousness. And we don't know why we behave like that, even though sometimes we try to control or we try to be aware of that. But because we not practice, our energy of concentration is not strong enough. So that's why the energy of the subconsciousness feeding overnight, now it's too powerful, and okay, it manifests up on our mind consciousness. So that's the main reason. And even though it's invisible, but it's very powerful. And from this one, it will affect our working environment, our living style, too stressful and too many sickness, too many disease. Because most of the disease now, about 70%, be affected by our central nervous system. And as you know, every single action, even though a single thought, has to be initiated from our central nervous system. All our reaction, biology reaction in our body, or whatever the action we want to perform, has to be initiated from the signal from our central nervous system. But this one is affected right in the headquarters in our central nervous system. So that's why it will affect our mental, emotion, as well as the eating habit or the elimination process. So this is the main guy stay behind the scene and control and govern on the other action, but we may not really aware about that yet. Later on we will learn how important and how can we deal with this one. So that just briefly let me have an idea about the sickness nowadays and the way we need to be aware to prevent it. And the mother of the God and the nature give our body as a human being, the advanced, the higher animal in the animal family. So if we look at the very low creature like the plant, like a tree, when we cut a leaf or branch, it knows how to heal. So the sap, okay, the fluid is not leaking out, so the tree is not die. When an animal, a dog, feel uncomfortable, feel not well, they have to find out a place to stop eating. That is the way it heals itself. So our human body is much more advanced. So it has a capacity to relax, to rebuild, to heal itself. For example, when we get cut, hit the cut, the wound is not too deep. The bleeding process very simple by forming the clot to stop the bleeding. But when we get deep cut with a big vein, other different mechanism to stop the bleeding. But it will. In case we get a very deep and big cut, we need to sew it. So we bring the blood vessel close together And when the blood vessel flows to blood vessel, it will connect and it will stop bleeding. The same thing for our tissue or our muscle. When we get slightly cut, the superficial skin can heal quickly. When we get cut deep in the muscle, if that cut we leave it open, it takes longer to heal. But when we sew it together, we make the egg close and the healing process is faster. But automatically, our body knows how to heal our wound. When we get the broken bone, the same process. If we let it automatically heal, it will take time. If on the fracture is far away, the process for healing will take longer. But when we arrange it all together in neatly way, and we let it stay quiet for a while, the bone gets healed by itself. So all that capacity our body has the gift from the nature for that. Why we need to interfere to that process by adding on the other chemical. It taps into our body, you see. And also, we are living in a relative world. Whatever good side, it has the bad side on that. But we get used to take advantage too much on the positive side, and we ignore the negative side of that. So that's why we have some adverse effect. Just think about very simple practice. We have a bottle of water. When we feel thirsty, we take a few sips, we feel satisfied, happy right away. So in that moment, the benefits is much more compared to the risk, right? But what happens if this is enough, the drinking water, this is the coffee, this is the wine, or this is the soft drink, the beverage. We get addicted to that, and we just drink continuously from one bottle to the other. First thing, after feel happy, satisfied with our thirst, the belly will get bigger, right? And we're tired. And the sugar concentration, the chemical will get into our body more and more. Now the benefit less than the risk. The same token for the meal, the food we eat. When we feel hungry, if we eat enough, or we just have a few bites, we feel really happy, right? We can absorb the smell, the flavor, the taste, really good. After a few bites, we feel almost satisfied with our hunger. But if we are unmindful, or if we not really can manipulate or control our mind, we just keep eating and eating because it's so good. And then what happens? After 10-15 minutes, especially if we not chew it carefully, our belly becomes distended heavily and we feel tired, right? And if we keep doing that one time to the other time, day to day, we get sick because we overeat all the burden for our body. So that is very normal in our life. The food we eat, the drink we drink. The same thing for the other exercise. When all the activity, the function of our body, if we just know about the positive side and we ignore the negative side, and then we get trapped in that. Just for example, we know the process of healing. When bone sit next to bone, it will healing, right? So people had a problem with exercise. For example, we have a Catholic at the end of our body. Normally, this joint, our body recognize that as a moving joint. So it has to be flexible, it has to be moved all the time. If it not move for a while, our body will identify this as the stable bone and follow the mechanism of bone sit next to bone. It will heal and connect with other. So that's why it will call on the calcium, the mineral to deposit in the end. And when all the mineral deposit here, what happens? The fluid joint, okay, it will eliminate out. And the joint becomes more stiffer. And when we're not moving, the temperature in this area will be lower. When the temperature lower, the tendon become more stiffer, like a rubber band. When we keep in the warm temperature, when we stretch it outwardly, it becomes more flexible. Now, if we not stretch it and we live in a cold temperature, it becomes more stiffer and it's easy to be broken. See? So that's why the tendon now becomes more stiffer. And the muscle layer around that, it has many different layers. And if we not exercise, it looks like a stack of paper. If we not use it properly, it hits together and it gets stiff. So when we move, we feel pain, feel uncomfortable. And if we feel uncomfortable, pain, and we worry, fear and damaging, and we try not to move, and it becomes bad consequence. Okay, the list not moving, okay, more deposit, more stiffness, and more sticker. You see, so that we don't think about the bad side of that, and then it becomes the problem. The same thing with the process now of the modern medicine. We just want instant, we want everything right away. And that is the wrong view of diagnosis of treatment for the cancer. We don't know how the cancer comes from, where it comes from, why it formed that way. If we look deeply, we will identify it easily and we will treat it easily. Nothing, I usually say, everything is impermanent. That means it's changing continuously. And then later on we will learn about the nutriment and the energy. Nothing in the universe can be existed without nutriment or energy. From a tiny creature like the virus or the bacteria to the bigger one like the blue whale. Everyone needs to have a nutriment to be alive. That we're talking about the material, the visible creation. And now we're talking about the invisible or the phenomena. Our thought, our idea, our planning, it's invisible, right? But the same thing, it needs to have the food to supply the energy to supply its survival. For example, you have someone say something unnaturally to you. You are so stupid. If we hear that and we let go, so we okay, right? But if we don't practice mindfulness and we don't practice letting go, we keep that word, you are so stupid, in our mind, and it brings back to our consciousness. And then to the subconsciousness, and then to the stored consciousness. And whenever you go out there, you hear a voice similar to that voice, or you see a face of the person similar to the face of person said that word. And automatically that energy from the storage consciousness, you bring it up to your mind consciousness. And now, even though the person said that one no longer there, but you still keep that in your consciousness, in your storage consciousness. Now, because of the energy from someone, the voice or the face similar to that one, but actually it's not. By the illusion, we bring it back to our consciousness. That process is a process we supply more energy for that thought. And after that, we not let it go. We bring it back into our storage consciousness. And the more regularly we doing that, the more energy we supply for that thought, and the more we get upset, the more we get tired, the more we get anxiety. You see? So even though that is invisible, that is just a thought, but if we don't know, we still automatically, unconsciously supply the energy for that, and it just keeps growing and growing. It destroys our life, and we don't know. But if we know every single phenomenon in general, visible or invisible, if we're not giving it energy or food to survive, sooner or later it will get away. So that way, when we have any severe condition, we need to identify what is the nutrition, what is the energy for that kind of the sickness or the problem. By identifying it, recognize it, either let go or either not contribute, not supply the energy for that, sooner or later we will resolve easily. You see, so that is the way we need to think positively. Our body, the nature already gives it all the function on the future to taking care of itself. Don't put more burden on it on the chemical, the wrong view, the wrong way of eating, the wrong way of living, something like that. So, and then later on today, or maybe early tomorrow, whoever want to participate in the early morning session, I will explain more and more benefit of the sitting meditation or relaxation for detoxify our body, to nourish our body in the higher level of energy, or to improve your mental or spiritual life. Now we don't have time to go deep in that. Alright, now hopefully we can go through this one briefly, but it's not detailed. But this is the main issue for our life. And most of us not really aware about that. Before we go into this one, I just want to clarify. So we have some agreement. Usually when we talk about our body, most of us just think about the physical level, the anatomy, because it's too big, too heavy, easy to see, right? And second one is our thinking, our mental formation only. But actually that's not true. Even though this one we can see, we can touch, but it's still not really true according to our view. At least our body, whenever we're talking about our body, it should have at least 4 different bodies or 4 different levels. The first one, the lowest one, is the grossest one. That is the physical, the anatomy. The too big, too heavy, easy to see. The next body, what we call that is the physiology, on the biology reaction, on the hormone, on the enzyme we secrete, and on the metabolism process in our body. We can see, but if we pay attention, we listen to our body, we will know it happened and it goes on the activity in our body. When we feel hungry, or when we start to smell the smell of food, our stomach know how to secrete the acid chlorhydric. The liver, the gallbladder know how to secrete the enzyme to get ready for the food coming to break down. You see? Or whenever you think about ice cream, and you see, okay, smell it coming out, the saliva coming out, so all of that, the second body, the physiology body, it much finer, more subtle, but it's there. The next one, it's much more fine in our psychology body, our mental formation. And this is the headquarters in general for the lay people or for the human being in general. And this one is the one to control the other two bodies. Because without this one, we cannot function. A dead body still has the physical, still have all the reaction. But if the mind consciousness not there, they no longer can control or manipulate to go the activity in the body. It goes by itself and decomposing process happens. You see? So actually the third body is the psychology body. It's much more finer, but it's more important. And lastly, the spiritual life. The spiritual life, not many people knowing or wearing it, but depend on your nature. Someone, especially at a very young age, the children very sensitive to the life until they exposed to the society, to the conventional teaching, and we force the children have to accept the way from the society. So we suppress the spiritual life of the children until everything really saturates. When we finish the family, when we be hit by any stress event, and then it looks like over here, too stressful, and then automatically the spiritual life it come back. So that's why usually we don't see, we don't experience any spiritual life until we hit a very severe phenomena or event in our life, or when we finish on the duty in the society. But actually it's all the way there. It stays behind continually, not only in this lifestyle, but for the other lifestyle. It goes with all of the other activity of the other four bodies. So again, even though normally most of us just think about the physical anatomy and the psychology level only, but when from now on, whenever we're talking about the nutriment, the food we eat, the drink we drink, all of the nutrients, the energy we supply to our body, we have to think about that. All that have to go to nourish for bodies at the same time. It's just different level depend on the period of time, depend on what kind of food, it goes to which body more. Alright, so that is the first agreement. We need to clarify that. And again, secondly, no phenomena can be survived without nutrition, without environment. So if we see that phenomena, if we see that creature still alive, that means for some way it gets energy. We need to identify which energy we want to supply for its survival, for its existence. And if we want it to continue, we support for that. If we don't want for it, okay, we withdraw, or we try to cut down the energy. Sooner or later, okay, it will get out. HIV, hepatitis C, cancer, multiple sclerosis, whatever the disease. Even though we will go deeper in the genetic, the modern medicine called genetic, and how can we define genetic disease, and how can we correct the genetic disease? It has to have a way. It's not just say, okay, that is genetic, and we have no way to deal with that. You see? Alright, so back to the nutriment. The first one, we call that the edible food. That means whatever food or drink we put through our mouth. This is the lowest energy level, but we provide the most effort for this one. The second nutriment that we call the sensible food. It includes everything going through our first 5 sense organ. The eyes can see the color, the image. The ear can hear the sound. The nose can smell the fragrance. The tongue can taste. And the body, the skin, can touch, can feel. So all of that is the nutrition. If we have the tongue to take, and then for some reason we don't want to take, we don't want to eat, the tongue will disappear, or will blend out its feature of tasting. Or if we have eyes and we don't want to see the color, or we don't want to see a person, automatically after a while, even though that color appears in front of our eyes, or that person appears in front of our face, we still cannot see that. Later on, if we have time, or next year we will explain all the mechanism for that. But what did follow the principle I say, whatever phenomena want to exist has to have the energy or the nutriment. So it be mutual. That means if we supply the energy or the food for that, it will survive, it will still keep exist. But if we not provide the nutriment, it will die out. Or if we want it be dead, we not supply or we block the nutrition for that. So just that example, we have the eyes to see, to look. So if we close our eyes for a while, our sight will disappear. Even though the nervous system the anatomy or the structure is still there, but we cannot see. Nothing wrong, but we cannot see. Outside it's gone. I don't know how many of you know, we have a lot of people have this issue too. For example, I hate that guy, or I hate that girl. So, for some reason, I say, okay, I don't want to see your face anymore. Just that message or just that practice, whenever I see that guy or that girl, I ignore the assistance of that person. After practice that for a while, and my eyes, even though when I see that person, it still cannot send the signal in the back of my brain to recognize that person is the one up here in front of our face. The reason because the transmitter be blocked by the message that we already programmed. When I say I don't want to see your face anymore, and time by time, when the signal, the light coming through my eye, I block that. Look like I program the computer in my brain. So later on, when it receives that frequency, that signal, it automatically blocks like we filter. So no longer it's sent through the back of my brain. So even though that person appears in front of my face, but I cannot recognize, I cannot see that person. The next one, the cognitive or the volition. That means the food we provide through the thinking, to planning, to dreaming. Whatever activity of our mental formation will fall into this category. And finally, the energy of the consciousness. And in here we have 3 different levels of consciousness. For example, we have our brain like a spear, yeah? And then we have the line drawn over. At the bottom, we have the Magna and the Alasa. That means the 7 and the 8 consciousness. And the top portion is the mind consciousness. In the mind consciousness, that means number 6, it includes the first 5 sense organ reception in that. That means eye, ear, nose, body, tongue. So, actually, we categorize it into 4 different levels of nutriment. But this one, especially the mind consciousness, the number 6, still the main one to bring all of this one into action. Because if we have a dead person, the 5 organs, the 5 sense organs still there, right? And the object from the environment, the picture, the color, the smell, the taste, the feeling, everything still there. But a dead person no longer have the consciousness. It cannot bring the connect between the sense organ and the object in the environment. It must have the consciousness, the mind consciousness, to be the intermediate, to bring, to connect it together. So when we eat, we feel full, we feel satisfied. When we smell, we can experience the good smell, the bad smell. We can distinguish. Okay, that is smell of the rose, that is smell of the lavang, that is smell of the whatever smell. So if we know that, if we have, again, we already learned, if we have the good side and the bad side too. The good side, it helps us to connect between our sense organ to the object in the environment, to bring the energy in to fit our body. But the bad side, because we are not conscious, we are unmindful, so that's why we be taken over by it automated. So that's why we're losing ourselves in unforgetfulness. Now, that is the problem. So to practice, to gain back the power, we need to learn how to be mindful, how to practice mindfulness in all the activity. So we can not only to control in the lifetime, but we also have a direction to go whenever we want to go, wherever we want to go, in the present lifetime or in the future. So this sixth consciousness, it has a capacity to nourish our body, to fit our body in the present life only. The seventh and the eighth consciousness is more powerful. It not only can fit, can nourish our body in the present lifetime, it has a capacity to bring the leftover energy to the next lifetime. For example, again, 50 years ago, you don't know how the ice cream taste, how the ice cream look like, right? You don't know how pizza look like. You don't know how to taste a pizza. But the first time when your parents bring you to the ice cream shop, oh, this is the cup, this is the vanilla, this is the... And when you look at that one, you smell that smell, you taste that, and you remember, oh, my mom took me to that, and okay, that is the first time I ate ice cream. So, we ate it, and then we smell, we taste all of that. So both this one, and then all this one, thinking of that, dreaming of that. All this energy not only can fit our body at that moment, right? But because of the sixth consciousness is the intermediate to connect all that together, but it's not right there. After that, it brings to the memory, to the stored consciousness, right? It brings it all the energy, okay, it will put in the storage consciousness, and it lives there. And once in a while, desire for the ice cream. So what happens? The energy in that, it will bring it back, and it re-manifests on our consciousness, my consciousness. So if you can tell your mom or your dad, Daddy, I love ice cream. So that is the energy to initiate you to ask your mom or your dad to take you to the ice cream shop. And the second time we eat, the energy it will stronger, it reinforces that. And also the energy go back into the storage consciousness. The more we repeat, the more energy we store it in here. And for some days, we cannot go to ice cream shop, right? So we have to sit down and imagine, okay, and that energy now, it goes back to the mind consciousness and it reconstructs. And we still can feel it, can taste it, can smell it. Alright, so that means it has a capacity to nourish our body in the present lifetime. And I told you it's much more powerful if we not really careful. Again, we are living in the relative world. It has a good side and it has a bad side. So if we take advantage on the good side, whatever we study, whatever the ambition, the positive thinking, we do the same thing. And the energy will keep stored in the solid consciousness, like a musician. All of his effort just concentrate into the music field only. What happened after he died? The body gone, right? The mind consciousness gone, but the stored consciousness still there. And because the energy is too powerful, and it cannot re-manifest on the mind consciousness anymore, because the body already dead, already gone. So what happened? This energy is the energy to lead you to go to find a new body. That's why we reincarnate. You see, that is the first powerful initially take us to go for reincarnation. And after it gets to a new body, what happens? Depends on the new environment. As you know, we have a lot of people, only a few years old, not go to school, not learning the language yet, right? But the energy from the stored consciousness, if it's powerful enough, it will re-manifest on the mind consciousness of the new child. So he or she will become the new musician, like Mozart and many other artists. Not only in the music field, we can see that in many different fields, in the mathematics, in the science, or in the natural science, something like that. So actually, all the energy, it has many different levels, and the more subtle, the more powerful, and especially the 7 and the 8, it's very, very subtle. We cannot see, and not aware about that, but it's very powerful. You see, it not only helps to nourish our body in this lifetime, but it can the initial force to bring us to looking for a new body through the reincarnation and re-manifest into the new life. We may have to stop here, and we may discuss many different levels and many applications of this into the real life, into many different aspects, in exercise, in working in the environment, in building a family, doing a community, all of that based on the energy. Because as I told you from the beginning, not a single phenomenon, visible or invisible, if it wants to survive, it needs to have a nutrition of the energy. So whatever we see in the surrounding environment, the human being, the inanimate, the phenomena, the thought, it needs to have energy. We need to identify the correct one to support, or the incorrect one, the adverse one, to eliminate that. Otherwise, we will get in trouble of our new society nowadays. We have many terrible conditions, living conditions, violence, sexual abuse, sickness, something like that, because of the two sides of the nutriment. Alright, thank you very much for listening. I will invite the bell 3 times, and then we get massage and relax and take a break.
that we've brought your bikes in here because earlier in the year, when there was a lot of activity around the meeting house, somebody came in and stole a big cast iron electric bike. And there's a lot going on today at the meeting house in here, so it would be helpful for you, I think, if you just brought your valuables with you. So if you think something's getting